Brian knows that I love having the last word. But anyway, I hope that this today isn't the last word, but the last word just of the first part, and maybe the first word of the second part. So it's just been wonderful being here with both of you, and it's just a great experience to have. And I must say I'm going away with a new enthusiasm. I've been doing choice theory for quite a while, like a lot of other people, but I think after today I'm certainly sold on it again, and the importance of it and what we can do with it. So that's probably one of the things that we had in mind when Brian, I think, single-handedly organised this day, and I want to compliment Brian and for taking the opportunity.
The whole thing.
All right. Well, anyhow, I think that one of the things we're planning to do is to set this up a bit more formally in Ireland. There have been an awful lot of people chipping away individually for maybe 20 plus years, but I think we've come to a stage now, and I think maybe the climate is really right when we can take it a bit more in hand and set it up on a formal basis. And I just want to say one or two things about how you can access choice theory at the minute. During the summer, the Institute runs quite a number of weeks in choice theory, basic weeks, and any person can access those. The information for the authors is on your literature that you got in your folder. If anybody came without having booked and didn't get a folder, we can give you the information before you leave. As well as accessing open weeks run by the Institute, it's also possible for any school or for any body, any group, to contact us and have a week set up for a closed group, for a group in your own workplace or for a group in your own school. So that is already in place, and that method has been followed by many people. But as well as that, we're hoping in the very near future, as I say, to formalise the arrangements about Quality School. And we would like, if any person here is interested in hearing more about that, if you could contact the Institute and just give your name, and then when we get it in place, we will make contact with you. I think, Charlotte and Anna have been talking very much today about systems, and I have to say I was very struck by the student who said there are two systems. There's the teacher system and there's the student system. And I personally would be very aware of those two systems, and I don't think either of them on their own work. So I think we need some other system. And as Anna and Charlotte said, Dr. Glasser would recommend that the leader's job is to work on the system. So I feel that today has been just wonderful for me, and I got the sense, and listening around, that it's been wonderful for you. I feel that people are going away in hope, and as Brian and others have said too, it's not going to be easy to make these changes. I mean, the big change here is a change in attitude, a change in beliefs, and that's always quite difficult. But my mother used to always say, if there's a will, there's a way. So I just send you away with that, and maybe just ask Brian, is there anything else that we needed to say, or anything that I have?
No, yes.
All right. So to just go away with, if there's a will, there's a way. So I would just say, think, when you're thinking about it, try and figure out what's your vision for your school. I think if we can do that, the rest, we can help you to put in place. Okay, thank you very much.
Could I just point out that Sister Claire and Sister Basil, like the two innocent-looking people, but they had a very good book out there called In the Driving Seat, with another lady, Mercedes Taff, who's somewhere in New Zealand, I think. But it's a book that's it's selling so well, it's causing us problems in our online shop. Glasser said somewhere, people do use choice theory. They use it with their friends. And I think there's a wonderful, insightful thing there, because if you want to know what to do, say, how would I deal with my friends? Like Charlotte there, when she had the problem, who to bring to Ireland? What did she do? She said, in a sense, she said, how would I deal with my friends about this problem, about who to bring? We sit around and talk about it. You know, it's a remarkable perception on Glasser's part. He thinks that's why Irish pubs work, because in Irish pubs no one ever criticises their friends, you know. I think too, we have the old 3 F's of education in Ireland, and I keep coming back to these: friendliness, fairness and firmness. Like, we were there before Glasser was. It's just we need to put them into practice. The other thing that struck me is that with Charlotte and Ananusha and the school in Croatia, every school does this in a different way. There's no set formula. There are 6 sort of core beliefs, but there's no set formula. Every school does it in their own way. It also struck me very much how much the 2 representatives here have internalized choice theory. And that takes years and years and years. You know, everything, like questions that seemed unrelated, but they kept coming back to, I cannot control another person. That's what the heart of it. So how will I deal with this situation? I would add a health warning to all this. I've been dealing with Charlotte for the last few weeks. I don't know what time she goes to bed. You know, if you take up this idea, you might never go to bed again. So just be aware of that. The other thing is, people say, yeah, those ideas might work. I'm sorry, if you say that, I don't respect that opinion, because these ideas do work. These ideas do work. And they do work in quite a big number of schools. It's not that they might work, it's that they do work. And I think we really need to sit up and say, all of us, and myself included, how can I do that? Because if it's not working for me, I'm not doing something. There's something I'm not doing, and I can still learn. And it's no good saying it's only America. I mean, everything works in America, isn't it? But in Slovenia as well, in Croatia, in countries that have had a lot of other things to worry about, and they've made this work. And I think there's a lot of schools and a lot of centres, youth reach centres, community training workshops around the country, where you can see this working, and you can see young people's lives turning around. The last thing I want to say, I'll never forget, Dr. Glasser at some point said, you're teaching me psychoanalysis, and you're teaching me psychotherapy, and you're teaching me things I don't believe in. And he had the courage to say, sorry, I can't accept that. And he went into a school and he saw things, he said, sorry, I can't accept that. And he had the courage to stand up, and he's still standing up and he's still saying these things. And I never forget at the end of one of these things, say, thank you, Bill Glasser. Thank you for standing up, and thank you for not just swallowing everything people threw at you. And I know that's what happens in the quality schools. Thank you both. And one very last thing. Neither of these people wanted to accept a single penny, neither sterling, nor euro, nor dollar, for what they did. Right? Neither of them. We're not accepting that. Right? Thank you all, and thank you too very much.
I just want to reiterate my thanks to Charlotte and to the team, and to Anna, to Claire for her contribution, information-wise, etc., and to Brian for taking the initiative for today. I think it certainly was a quality day, so thank you all.
Thank you.